Thought I'd do myself a simple video on aspartame, but lo and behold, found myself swamped with conflicting information. Nutritional scientific studies. Worthless. Preach! Testify! Okay, let's take a step back. Why do companies use aspartame, Splenda, or any other sugar replacement? Take water, carbonate it, add flavourings, sugar, preservatives and colourings, put it on a shelf, and people are going to buy it. Exhibit A, Coke, with 39 grams of sugar. That's over 7 teaspoons. Now, if you drank to your coffee, would you put that much in? Chances are you wouldn't. Most people think they're going a bit OTT if they put more than 3. So why do sodas need so much? You know how they say a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down? Well, I'm blaming Mary Poppins for giving them the idea that if they sweeten the substance, you won't taste the additives. I'm assuming there's got to be a lot of additives to make that medicine go down. I mean, I'm not going to try it, but I reckon 7 teaspoons would make yak urine quite drinkable. Ah, right. Makes sense. Okay, so is there a time when adding 7 teaspoons of sugar isn't a bad thing? Absolutely. If you're doing a tough workout and you need a little boost, then 39 grams in 330 millilitres of water is just over a 10-to-1 ratio, which is a sweet spot for glycogen repletion. Sprinkle in a little caffeine, which is also a performance enhancer, and you've got yourself quite the pick-me-up. With 41 calories in a can of Coke, if you go for an hour run, 2-hour ride, some sort of hardcore weights training session, you can basically enjoy the benefits of the boost and the taste. And boy, would that taste good, because you've earned it. But that is the level of activity that would benefit from that fuel. It's like Kendall mint cake. You know, what you eat when you're stuck up a mountain somewhere and your mate's arm starts to resemble a chicken drumstick, rather than when you're sat in your bedroom on your PS3. But what if you want the taste, but not the calories? That's where the aspartame, the Splenda, and the other artificial sweeteners come in. Diet drinks don't require you to do a 10k to have them. So if you take out the sugar, which is natural, processed, yes, but natural, and replace it with a chemical that was made by a guy in a lab, what happens? Let me ask you, have you ever seen any film where a guy made something in a lab where there wasn't a side effect? On top of that, once you've made it and you want to test it, you can pay the researcher. Now, we paid £28 for like a car MOT, which is a test, but that doesn't buy you an advantage. In fact, it seems to be some sort of annual government-enforced con, which allows them to find any little minute thing and then charge you crazy prices to fix it. £25 for a replacement bowl? Seriously? How about I just drive it in the day? But if I slip them £300 and a wink, it's definitely possible that it might pass first time, you get me? Obviously in that case they just take the money and fix the car, but you get the point. If you fund the research, you get what you paid for. In 1981, the FDA approved aspartame in dry foods, and next year, cue Diet Coke. But the problem is, aspartame is said to be broken down by the body, and then it starts creating all kind of nonsense. It increases your feelings of hunger compared to just glucose and water. That makes you want to eat more, and that's not great for a diet drink. It also messes with your gut flora, and while they're not sure of the effects of that long term, poor gut health has never been linked to anything good. Probably if I was a betting man, I'd say fat on your waistline. In 2004, a BMJ study gave aspartame the big thumbs up, certified fresh, but this was basically because all of the studies that said it was safe were funded by the industry. Remember that MOT analogy? They slipped them the cash and the wink. Funnily enough, over 90% of the independently funded studies said that it may cause adverse effects, things like depression and headaches. And that right there is a great illustration of the problem with nutritional research. The vast majority of the studies are just a massive waste of time, in my opinion. Not their time, they get paid, but my time in reading them and your time in listening to them. They're getting paid to produce the results that the people want. Others are using specialized statistical analysis on the raw data to twist and manipulate it to get the conclusion that they want. They can change the control group to skew the result to get the finding that they want. Well, maybe not that far, but who can tell? And the vast majority of research studies are epidemiological, which are pickled in error from misreporting. Interested groups then take these botch jobs and use them as ironclad proof of their agenda, rather than just one possible reason out of many that prove nothing. And on top of that, if you're rich enough, you can swamp the market with your own research to drown out any dissenting view. I see people chucking around studies online like they're scriptures, and to be honest, to them it is, because it just reinforces their belief. That's why I try my hardest not to quote any studies, but to be fair, in this case, I don't think you need a study. Stay well clear of any substance that was made by some guy in some lab when you can drink the sugared version after hard exertion. You know it's right because it rhymes. If you're exhausted after working out, then you've earned that treat. But that's what sugar is. It's a treat. Because to get that 40 grams of sugar from sugarcane, you'd have to chew through 4 sticks. And that's a jaw workout. See, lab coats have already altered and mutated enough of the food that we're already eating over the last 50 years. The crops, the veg, the fruit, the meat, pretty much everything we eat's been manipulated. So why add to it? Did you feel the need to just walk into a chemistry lab at school and just start downing what's ever in the conical flasks? Rather than trying to weigh up and compare the relative veracity and merits of the scientific studies, just follow the nutty professor rule.
Now, thanks to the miracle of science, he's about to make a change.
Now that is very nasty.
Potions made in labs have side effects. So here's the solution. If you want to get off the sodas, make them yourself. Don't trust the company, trust your kitchen. Buy the fizzy water, buy the fruit, squeeze it in, add your own sugar. Just add less than 7. Right there, you've got a healthier drink. And enjoy that every time you walk 15 minutes. If you're over 170 pounds, which is 77 kilos, then you'll be burning off more calories than you're consuming. So right there, you're on the road to weight loss. You don't need the diet drink. And every time you want one of those drinks, go for your 15-minute constitutional. And if you don't feel like doing the walk, that's fine. Just drink the fizzy water and lemon. That way, you reconnect the idea that food is fuel. I hope this helps. Do me a favour and bust me a thumbs up, because let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good. Leave your comments below, and if you like my vibe, please subscribe. Woo! Woo!